Most people stay broke, not because of how much they earn, but because of these 10 habits. And odds are, you're doing at least 3 of them right now. See, being broke isn't really about your income. It's about what you do with it. You could make $40,000 or even $100,000 a year and still end up with nothing to show for it if you keep falling into these traps. Today, I'm breaking down the 10 most common money habits that quietly keep people broke. These aren't advanced strategies or tax loopholes. They're simple mistakes almost everyone makes without realizing it. And once you start breaking them, everything about your financial life changes. Let's start with the first habit, and it might sound familiar: paying everyone else before you pay yourself. Let me tell you about David. He makes $65,000 a year, which isn't bad, but every month, the same thing happens. His paycheck hits his account, and immediately the money starts flowing out. Rent, car payment, phone bill, streaming services, dinner with friends. By the end of the month, there's maybe $50 left. David tells himself he'll start saving next month when he has extra money. That extra money will never come. This is what Robert Kiyosaki calls paying yourself last in Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Most people pay every bill, every subscription, every want first. Then they try to save whatever's left over. Rich people do the opposite. They pay themselves first. Here's what David should do. The moment his paycheck hits, $650 goes straight into savings. That's 10% of his income, and he treats it like a bill that must be paid. Then he figures out how to live on the remaining $58,350 for the year. When you pay yourself first, you learn to live on less. When you pay yourself last, there's never anything left to save. Habit number 2, you have no idea where your money goes. I used to work with this guy, Marcus, who always complained about being broke. One day I asked him how much he spent on food each month. Maybe $300? He guessed. I told him to track it for a month. Groceries, restaurants, coffee, snacks, everything. The real number? $847. Marcus wasn't irresponsible. He just had no clue where his money was actually going. You can't fix what you can't measure. Most people know their income to the dollar. Ask them about their spending, and they start guessing. That's like trying to lose weight without ever stepping on a scale. Track every expense for 1 month, not to judge yourself, just to see the reality. I guarantee you'll be surprised by what you find. Habit number 3, you think debt is normal. Credit cards, store financing, buy now, pay later apps. We've normalized borrowing money for everything. Here's the math that credit card companies don't want you to see. The average credit card charges 22% interest. That means if you carry a $5,000 balance and make minimum payments, you'll pay over $1,100 in interest every year, just to borrow your own future money. The rule should be simple. If you can't afford to pay cash for it, you can't afford it, period. The only exceptions are things that can make you money or appreciate in value. A house, maybe. Education that leads to higher income, possibly. Everything else, clothes, vacations, gadgets, pay cash or don't buy it. Habit number 4, your lifestyle grows with your income. When Jake got promoted and his salary jumped from $50,000 to $70,000, he thought he'd finally start getting ahead. Instead, he moved to a nicer apartment, bought a nicer car, and started eating out more. A year later, he was still broke, just broke with better stuff. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it's the reason people making $100,000 can be just as broke as people making $40,000. The secret is to live like you never got the raise. When your income goes up, your savings rate should go up, not your spending. If Jake had kept living on $50,000 and saved the extra $20,000, he'd have real wealth building. Instead, he traded temporary upgrades for long-term financial stress. Habit number 5, you don't have financial goals. Most people's financial plan is, I hope I'll have enough money someday. That's not a plan, that's a wish. Goals without numbers aren't goals, they're fantasies. Here's what real financial goals look like. I want $50,000 in savings by age 30. I want to invest $500 per month starting next year. I want to be debt-free in 3 years. Without specific targets, you have no way to measure progress. You have no sense of urgency, you have no plan. Write down exactly how much you want to save this year, then figure out what that means per month. Then make it happen. Habit number 6, you wait for extra money to start investing. I'll start investing when I have more money. Here's what nobody tells you. You'll never feel like you have enough money to invest. Sarah makes $45,000 and thinks she needs to wait until she makes $60,000 to start investing. But when she gets to $60,000, she'll think she needs to wait until $75,000. The math is simple. $200 invested every month starting at age 25 becomes about $500,000 by age 65. Wait until you're 35 to start? You'd need to invest $450 every month to hit the same number. Those 10 years of waiting will cost you $250 per month for the rest of your working life. Start with whatever you can. Even $50 per month is infinitely better than zero. Habit number 7, you're ignoring free money. If your employer offers a 401k match and you're not taking it, you're literally throwing away free money. Let's say your company matches 50% of your contributions up to 6% of your salary. If you make $50,000, that's potentially $1,500 in free money every year. Over a 30-year career, that free money could grow to over $200,000. This is the easiest money you'll ever make, and most people ignore it. At minimum, contribute enough to get the full match. It's an instant 100% return on your money. Habit number 8, you think saving money makes you rich. Saving money is important, but there's a limit to how much you can save. There's no limit to how much you can earn. You can cut your expenses by maybe 20 to 30% if you're really disciplined, but you can potentially double, triple, or 10 times your income over your career. Yet most people spend 90% of their energy trying to save money and 10% thinking about how to make more. The people who build real wealth focus on both sides of the equation. They control their spending and they aggressively grow their income. Ask for raises, switch jobs, develop valuable skills, start a side business. The earning side has unlimited upside. Habit number 9, you're too scared to invest. A lot of people keep all their money in savings accounts earning 0.5% interest while inflation runs at 3%. That means you're losing 2.5% of your purchasing power every year. Your safe savings account is actually guaranteed to make you poorer over time. The stock market averages about 10% returns over long periods. That's not guaranteed year to year, but historically, it's been remarkably consistent over decades. Playing it safe with all your money is actually the riskiest thing you can do. You don't need to become a stock picker. Simple index funds that track the overall market have made ordinary people millionaires. Habit number 10, you pay more taxes than you have to. For most people, taxes are their biggest expense, bigger than housing, bigger than food, and most people just accept whatever they're told to pay. The wealthy don't do this. They hire accountants and structure their finances to legally minimize taxes. You should too. Max out your 401k. It reduces your taxable income. Use a Roth IRA for tax-free growth. If you have a side business, deduct legitimate business expenses. Every dollar you save in taxes is a dollar you can invest or use to pay down debt. You don't need to be rich to be smart about taxes. You need to be smart about taxes to become rich. The pattern you need to see. Look, all these habits have one thing in common. They prioritize short-term comfort over long-term wealth. Paying yourself last feels easier than living on less money. Not tracking expenses feels easier than facing reality. Using debt feels easier than waiting to buy something. Lifestyle inflation feels like you're finally making it. But these choices compound against you. Every month you don't save is a month you lose to compound interest. Every dollar you spend on interest is a dollar that can't grow for your future. The people who break these habits early don't just have more money, they have more options. They can leave bad jobs. They can take calculated risks. They can handle emergencies without going into debt. They can retire before they're 70. What comes next? You can keep doing what you've always done and wondering why your financial situation never improves. Or you can start breaking these habits one by one. Start with paying yourself first. Even if it's just $100 per month, automate it so it happens before you can spend the money on something else. Track your expenses for 30 days. You'll be shocked at what you discover. Cut up the credit cards if you can't pay them off every month. The math is simple. The execution is hard. But the people who do the hard stuff early get to live easy later. Everyone else works until they die. If this video showed you habits you need to break, hit that like button and subscribe for more honest breakdowns on building real wealth instead of just looking wealthy. Your future self will thank you for the changes you make today. I'll see you in the next one.